Hey everyone, it's Ariolin. We're back to another episode of Ariolin's Heart Rate Gaming. We're back to Trading Legends. And right now we have the retainer contest and the aptitude contest going on right now. And I just wanted to go over what exactly applies specifically to the retainer contest. There were some questions about that. So if you click this little question mark up here next to the CS event, it does explain. So on the number two, like it says, retainer earning growth equals, like that is what earning growth is what gets you points in this event. Like that is what they're counting. And it's your current retainer earnings and the highest retainer earnings before the event. So basically earnings increase during the assessment and reward period won't be accounted. So it basically means as soon as the event ends, like the ranking processing is already done. But anything you increase before the event actually starts does not count. It only counts what you increase during the 3 day period that the contest is going on. Okay, so how do we increase our retainers earnings? So this is only applying to retainer earnings. This is different from this is the retainer contest, not the earnings contest. So it's a little bit different. In the earnings contest, your retainer earnings count towards that as well because that's overall earnings. This one is specifically your retainers. So just how can I increase the earnings of my retainers? And there are a lot of ways to do that. And the great thing is they do the aptitude contest at the same time, and increasing the aptitude of your retainers also increases their earnings. So let's see, I've only got two aptitude things right now because we're close to the end of the event and I've already used like almost everything. So I have two aptitude pearls. So increasing aptitude, this would increase it by 2%. And if you watch the little earnings number here, if I click upgrade, the earnings go up, and then I'll have a little box and it says earnings, and it went up by 91K. So like some of them have auras, and as you can see, it increases this retainer's earnings by X amount. So like if you have those, for me, I wish I had recorded this at the start of the event. I saved a ton of attires. It was specifically for the aptitude part of it, because as you can see, like equipping this suit on this character, it increased the aptitude of these two abilities by 20. So it was like getting that much aptitude just by equipping the suit. So I like to save my suits for the retainer or the aptitude earning events, and then just equip them on the retainers, and it gives you auto, like here in the attire, like it gives you an automatic. See, this one's plus 20 and this one was plus 20. So it gave me 40 aptitude just automatically for equipping that attire. So saving your attires for the aptitude contest is a good idea. You can also increase your aptitude with the books. I guess I should go over here for that. Oh, where is it? This one. Because this is the one that's on all the retainers. So the Art of Chivalry. If you have 100 books, you can just click upgrade. That gives you aptitude, and it also gives you earnings. So these are all aptitude. So this one, the retainer deployment, this is building earnings. So this does not count towards your retainer earnings because this does not increase retainer earnings. So this one you want to save for the earnings event. Do not spend this one during the retainer earnings. It does nothing. Then you have the business one, which you can get from you get business from doing like the bank. I think you get them also from doing the restaurant. I'll show those so that I'm not being confusing. If you go to the bank and click the little abacus, if it loads, okay. So like if you have them work in the bank, they earn they earn business. It's, let's see if it says in here somewhere. Here we go. In the bank revenue, number 2, retainers can get business XP. So that's what that is. They get business XP for working at the bank. So if you have a specific retainer that like you want to increase the aptitude of, it's a good idea to have them work. And then, yeah, here also in the restaurant, see, they got some business XP. So just keeping your queue going in your restaurant is another way to get business XP regularly. So let's go back to the retainer. Let's go back in here. Okay, so we have the books that increases earnings and aptitude. The retainer deployment does nothing for retainer earnings. Business XP increases aptitude and retainer earnings. And then the sidelines, this is another one, the pouring gold. That is another one that you get from working at the bank. And it's a building earnings one as well. So this does not increase retainer earnings. This one is another one you want to save for the earnings event. So don't do this one. Then we have the cooking. That one does aptitude. So this one also will increase your earnings. Go ahead and spin that. And then the third one here is the stuff that you get from doing investments. So investments, if you don't know, is in the suburb, and it's right here at the bottom, investment, and you click on it. And you can start your own investments at the contract if you're a high enough level. You can only do this at a specific level. I don't remember exactly what that level is. And then in here, you can see the ones that I started. It says initiating, and then you can join some to get even more. So, and depending on the class is what class research you get. So like in this case, I have peasant and rover. So I'll get research towards enhancing either a rover retainer, which is what I just had here, or a peasant one, which is like this one. So you kind of want to pick which ones you're wanting to work on the most. Which ones do you want to enhance and make stronger, and then jump into those investments if you can. Also, another thing to know about investments, since we're talking about it, the higher the level of the person doing the investments, the more rewards you get. So like this one, usually it shows the highest level person at the top of the list. Like I'm a level 37 and like this person's level 41. So if I jumped in on theirs, I would get more than what I get from my own. So you want to try to jump in on the highest level investment that you can, essentially. I need to finish my constructions for the day or it's just never going to happen. I'm so behind. Okay. Also, other ways to increase your retainer earnings. There's a lot of ways to do this, a lot. So one of them is just straight up in your beauties. You could go to your beauties, you can go to skill, and you have your retainer tab right here. And these two skills here, one of them increases the related retainers by a percentage, and the other one is an amount. So like if I just click this, then it goes up. It's at 154K because it increased both those retainers' earnings. So let me just do that a couple more times. And there we go. Also from the escort, you get the same thing. It increases their earnings. Or if you save up enough, this bottom one does aptitude. As far as value, like if you're more focused on trying to increase your retainer earnings more than you are the aptitude, the retainer earnings actually does give you more earnings increase than the aptitude one typically. I've tested this multiple times in multiple places, and almost always increasing the top skill gives you more overall earnings increase than just doing the aptitude one. So anyway, you get escort points from doing the escort in the guild or by sending them to the restaurant, which, I mean, is random. You don't get to pick, but, it racks up over time. So, yeah, just like going through and doing all of these, um, it adds up. And yeah, so there was another 850K. I'll go through and finish the rest later. I've got too many beauties to do them all now. So that's another place to do retainer earnings. Another place that's extremely similar, if you have it unlocked, if you're a high enough level, there's the estate here up in the top middle. You go to your estate, and it takes a minute to load. And you harvest your stuff. And, whatever you get, you go to the courtyard. And I've already spent my stuff, but if you click on the thing, you can scroll down, and down here are the retainers. So you can, again, the top one is retainer earnings, and the bottom one is aptitude. So if you want to do aptitude, you could do that one. If you want to do earnings, you could do the top one. And again, the earnings one seems to increase the amount you're making more than just doing the aptitude one. Even when it's like 4 retainers like this, it's more to do the earnings. So, I mean, it's not a bad idea to just do the earnings. Whenever the basic earnings event comes back around, I'll do one on that as well. Let's see if I've got enough to upgrade any of these. I don't think so. I got ahead of myself and I spent it all. I was trying to just get things done very quickly. Okay, yeah, no. I don't have enough to do any of the ones that I want. Okay, so that's that. Estate and beauties, they both increase your retainer earnings. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. Okay, so then as far as bag items, I've also almost used all of this. Let's start at the top. We got random books, so always open those. Just open them, it doesn't use them, and then you have all these books. So like here I've got 200 for artisan retainer sitting here that needs to be used, and I've got 100 for a merchant retainer that I need to use. So I need to use those before the event's over. And then all of these items, these little, like this one is the porcelain, this one is the wine. They increase the earnings of a random retainer. And you'll accumulate a lot of these just from travel or stage events, or just, I mean, you get them all over the place. Like they're just really random and you get them all the time. They just increase a random retainer's earnings. So if I just click use, okay, my butcher's earnings went up by 500. And if I just click use, it's going to do a random artisan, and it did the blacksmith cow. And yeah, so that increases retainer earnings. All of those items, they're great for increasing retainer earnings. I don't have any, but there's the ginsengs also. Actually, they're the shop. Let's see, Trade War, I think, has if you go to the exchange shop, yeah, right here, the Trade War and the ginseng. This one lets you pick which retainer you add the earnings to. So there's also a gold version. I've used all of mine. I didn't plan for this video very well, and I apologize. But if you have these ginsengs, you can use them, and you get to pick which retainer that you want to increase the earnings on. And that also applies to retainer earnings. Also, sometimes when you're traveling, you'll get like attendant Yan, and he'll be like, oh, who do you want to have taste a dish? And that is basically like a ginseng. So you can pick who you want, which retainer you want to increase the earnings of. So there's random events in travel that also increase retainer earnings. So I just got 5 more books. We'll just open those. And then right here, we have business XP. The brown ones are for random retainers, and then there's also blue ones that you get to pick which retainer you want to get it. So we'll just use this, and it just randomly is like, blah, here you go, some business XP for random people. So that's that. Those all do retainer earnings. There's also an event going on right now. Um, this one, the God of Wealth, and all the items that you get from it give you special items that if you go to the event and use them, it increases retainer earnings. So there's lots of things, uh, lots of various things to increase retainer earnings. Oh, another way in the market um, is here at the inn in the uh, I guess it's technically the restaurant. I always call this jar by the restaurant, but it's almost like a mall. But here at the inn, there's the cooking thing. Okay, so he just finished, so we can collect our points, and I'm gonna go ahead and start him on another thing. Do that one, go. And then if you click on the top right here, the gourmet that has the red dot, and the one that has the red dot, these increase retainer earnings. As you can see, it's specifically for, this one is for rovers. So like whichever retainer you have cook will earn points towards whatever their class is. So like here at the bottom, you can see like there's scholar and peasant and or artisan, merchant, and rover. So whoever you have cook, whatever class they are, it will go towards that class. So if I upgrade that, then all my rover return earnings go up. So this is another way. That is retainer earnings. Also, don't forget about the exchange shop in here because it is great. It has lots of great things. You can get a retainer card piece every day if you're cooking. I love to make sure I'm cooking all the time because, I mean, not only do you get retainer earnings, but you get aptitude points towards the person you have cooking, and then you get the exchange shop, which has like, the Pathfinder shards and the Master Seal shards and the retainer cards and the market designs. I mean, so cooking is very beneficial. And then you don't really want to do anything at the pharmacy. That does not apply to retainers specifically. That's more earnings. So did I get everything? So yeah, so just, I mean, like using your books, using your business. So like I like to just like scroll through. Okay, I've got business, use it, and you just scroll through and it stays on that business experience. And so you can just click through and see who can be upgraded. And most of these I've already did. Yeah. So business experience and the books. I mean, luckily aptitude does apply to retainer earnings, so I appreciate that they pair those because then you can just spend all your aptitude increasing things during an event that also benefits from it. So that's very nice. All right, that should be just about everyone. Okay, or not. Oh my gosh, how many do I have? All right, there we go. Okay, so yeah, books, yes. Retainer deployment, no. Business, yes. And I mean, what we got? I mean, if you want to do like this one, because it only takes one, you could do that. The pouring gold, no, does not work for retainer earnings. Cooking, yes, it does work. And it's also aptitude. Research points, yes, aptitude again. Auras, let me go to a more relevant aura. Let's go to this one because he's a Pathfinder. So aura, like I was able to upgrade him again this event, but like now he takes 45. I think, let's see, the first level ones. Where's one of my people? I guess I haven't done him. So like the first one takes 10. So if you have, I mean, like if you've unlocked all of the Pathfinders and you've got some extra stones, come in here during the retainer earnings and use those stones, and it increases their earnings by an additional 5%. So yeah, all very useful. I mean, in the future, when you start getting these hairpins, that does aptitude specifically for all uh, peasant retainers, well, or their associated class retainers. So those are really great. I'm only just now seeing events that are giving those though, so those are kind of later game. Um, so that's, I believe that covers everything that has to do with retainer earnings. Did I have? Yeah, I had merchant one. And then I had artisan. Artisan. Let's just click artisan. I'm going to do you. There we go. All right. So, yeah, retainer earnings, beauties, estate, doing the restaurant, doing the cooking, doing books, doing business XP, doing the investments for the research, and aptitude pills to increase aptitude skills. Also, attires, equipping attires. All of these things will count towards your retainer earnings, as well as the random items that you get in your bag, the ginseng, the ceramics, the wine, all of that stuff. All of those will increase your retainer earnings. And again, it only counts how much you increase it during the event. So you want to hoard all those items and wait until the retainer earnings event comes and then just use them all at once. Just spam them. And I mean, another good thing, like, I don't really use a ton of my energy pills. So like, sometimes I just decide, oh, okay, well, let's use 50 now, and then I could just press summon a whole bunch, and then I get all these summoning points, and then I could go through and increase the earnings on a bunch of things all at once. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much sums up the retainer contest and the aptitude contest. A lot of it is about hoarding your resources and waiting for the event, and then just using everything. Yeah, wait for the opportune moment before you use your items. All right, so I believe that sums up this event. I hope that was helpful and that you guys understand now how those event works, and that you can do really good and get a better ranking maybe, and earn a few more of those extra rewards because they're nice. But if you enjoyed, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. See ya!